3 things that will help you survive SHTF. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. That's what we're talking about today. Surviving SHTF, hopefully thriving in SHTF. But first off, if you guys like the channel, please subscribe, please hit the like button, please comment. Constructive comments are awesome. I learn a lot from you guys also, because a lot of you guys are, better prepared than I am, or more self-reliant, self-sufficient from me. That's one of the things I'm always striving for. That's my big push. But yeah, comments, share the videos, please help out the channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps the algorithm. And tell other people, spread the word about the channel. But 3 things that'll help you survive. Not the only 3 things. You can't just do these 3 things and survive. But these are 3 things that will help you for sure. So let's move on to number 1. What is number 1? Number 1 is grow your own food. Raise your own food. Produce your own food. Along those lines. The self words, right? Not selfish, but self-sufficient, self-sustainable, self-reliance. Those kind of things. Those will give you true freedom. I'll talk a little bit more about that. What's number 2? Number 2 is get your ham license. Ham radio license. So that you can communicate in an event. You will be able to communicate to people. That's a big one. Number 3 is build your MAG, your mutual assistance group, your team, your tribe, your crew, your family, whatever you want to call it. Let's talk a little bit more about those in detail. We'll also be talking about some other things, some bonus things, not really part of the 3, but maybe a little more that direction for some other stuff we'll talk about. But yeah, when I started out prepping, it was all about, food storage, stockpiling food, which is very important. But the more I mature in my preparedness, the more I think that, let me adjust this, the more I think self-sufficiency is the direction I want to go. Having food storage, yeah, check. Having water storage, great. And I'll still be working towards that. But self-reliance, like I talked about, number 1, being able to produce your own food. That is very important. When we get settled to where we're moving, we will have animals. I'm hoping for chickens and goats, turkeys, chickens, goats, at least. Hopefully, depending on the situation, where we are, what we end up with, stuff like that. I remember I looked at this one property when I was just looking around, I just kind of draw an area and I'd be like, oh yeah, let's look in this area and see what houses are, what's out there, There's this one that had some decent acreage, and it had fence, cross fenced, all this stuff like that. Cattle, they were running cattle on it, and it said for price negotiable, the cattle included. Sweet. I'm like, yeah, that would be kind of cool. So who knows what we'll find, but definitely be raising our own animals, and definitely be starting over, building a new garden. One of the lessons learned from gardening, raised bed gardens, and I think I might continue the raised bed garden thing, but have it more organized, have it laid out much more efficiently, instead of just, oh my gosh, we got to hurry up and build raised beds and get food in the ground to start producing our own food. Instead of that, I want to do it more so the beds last longer, for one thing. We're probably going to make them out of cinder block or something that is permanent, that won't rot like wood. So that's one thing I've learned. And then another thing, like I said, organization, laid out differently. And maybe having maybe 3 separate raised bed gardens where we can grow one, the other 2 lay dormant, and then alternate throughout the years, amending the soil as needed. Or maybe just 2, I don't know, we'll see what's going on. But the ability to produce your own calories is very important. I mean, I get, and that's more along the lines of, homesteading channels. But like I said, the more and more I mature as a prepper, I find myself more and more becoming a homesteader. I find myself more and more being concerned with self-sufficiency. Because I think, in a big event, that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to grow our own food. We're going to have to raise our own animals, all those kind of things. So enough about that. I talk about that all the time in videos. But it is very important. I hope you guys are listening and hope you're doing your best to get there. We're doing our best. We're always improving. Growing it has halted here because of the move. But once we get there, bam, we're going to hit the ground running and get a bunch of stuff in. So I'll take you along for the ride on that also. Number 2 was get your ham radio license. It would also help if you had a ham radio. Yeah, that definitely helps. The Baofeng U5Rs are really good ones. There's also waterproof versions of that. There's higher output versions of that, the U7R, U9R, whatever, I forget what they're called. I forget the exact term. It just slips my mind right now. Handheld ham radios are really important because you can use them for personal communication. They don't transmit long distances. But a lot of times you don't want it to transmit long distances because you don't want somebody out there listening to you. If you're on your bug out location or on your homestead or something like that and you're doing the things out and about, maybe people are out patrolling or something like that, or somebody's over there and they need to talk to somebody over here, you don't need to transmit long distance. You don't want it going out too far. But you can also do base stations. Have base stations. There's portable base stations for like vehicles. You can rig it into your vehicle. You can also have one in your house, in different buildings. You can also rig up a pack mounted one. So it'd be like a field radio for military applications. Obviously you'd have to carry a car battery in there with it, and you're talking a lot of weight. So backpack, give it to the big buff dude. Make him the radio man. But it's possible. My buddy did it, and it worked out pretty well. So keep that in mind. What are some other things? Yeah, earn your ham radio license, have a ham practice, train, really learn how to use it, and work towards getting your higher licenses. That's a good thing, because then you can utilize them now. Even if you don't have your ham radio license, don't let that hold you up though. Get your ham radios, because you can still listen, you just can't transmit without a license. And if the world goes to heck in a handbasket, well, and there's nobody out there monitoring that kind of thing, well, then you can talk. So think about those things. Okay, so the third one is mutual assistance group, right? We talk about that all the time. Lots of channels talk about that, I'm sure. Because it is very important to have a group. I cannot stand watch 24 hours a day. I have to sleep, I have to eat, I have to go to the bathroom, I have to drink, I have to rest, things like that. You cannot stay mentally awake and mentally prepared for extended periods of time on watch. Another thing is, I, by myself, cannot provide adequate security and work on the garden and cook and clean and do all those things. Even my family unit, the 4 of us, still could not do everything needed. It's just not possible. So having a group is very important. And a lot of people talk about how difficult it is to find a group. It does depend on your area, although I have a feeling probably in most areas, especially nowadays, post lockdowns and all this stuff like that, that there are more people aware of preparedness. Maybe people forgot again because their memories are pretty short sometimes. They get on the kick, they realize, oh hey, I need to do this, and then everything kind of slides back to a sense of normalcy, and then they just forget about it. I get it. I mean, it happens, but there are people out there. You have to find them. Sporting goods sections of stores, canned aisles, canned food aisles. I met a person that became a subscriber here, found out that person was a prepper in the canned food aisle. Just struck up a conversation. I forget how it started, but it was something either what I was getting or what she was getting was obviously for preps. So, conversation starter, camping section. What else? These stores, these ranges, Lots of different places. Online also. But, you know, be wary online. It's better to have the meeting, you know, happen organically. Less chance of threat, I guess, of, you know, having somebody that doesn't want good for you. Neighbors, friends, family, co-workers. Everybody has a pool of people that they can communicate with and that they can build around. Some people have had bad luck. They've been burned in the past. Don't give up. Please don't give up. Even if you have been burned. That's like if you're married and you got divorced because whatever reason, and you got burned real bad. It doesn't mean you're not going to ever marry again. If you got fired from a job, doesn't mean you're not going to look for another job. If you got hurt at doing something, doesn't mean you're going to stop doing it and quit, right? We don't quit. We don't give up. We keep going. We got to build our MAGs, our mutual assistance groups. I am in the process of moving. So I'm leaving behind a pretty darn good situation. Moving to the unknown. Heck, I don't even know what state I'm moving to yet. We have some ideas, but I got to start all over there. Obviously, it might be a little bit easier for me because I have a YouTube channel with awesome, I'm really happy, was 16,500 subscribers. That's awesome. We're still growing at a good rate. I'm really happy about that. I'm really proud to be able to reach that many people. And I'm really happy and proud to uplift, empower, and get the word out to more people. I want as many people as possible on board with preparedness. I've talked about this all the time in the past because the more people that are on board with preparedness, the less people coming for my food, coming for your food, stuff like that. Yeah. So you can do it. I know you can. Please don't give up. Don't quit. You can do it. Okay, so those are 3 things that you can do to be more prepared, to be able to survive in an SHTF scenario. Stuff hitting the fan, things going bad. But they're not the only things, of course. Some of the bonus things are seeds, stockpile seeds, both kinds. If you want to know about the kind that you don't put in the ground and grows things and you eat it, check out our YouTube channel, or our Patreon channel. Links in the description below. We talk about all that kind of stuff over there. It's not conducive to the environment here on YouTube. And I want to stay viable on this platform so I can reach more people, so I can get more people into preparedness, so less people are coming for my food, your food, stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, seeds, both kinds. Very important. Anything that will get you to self-reliance. And what is another big one? The biggest one. Water, right? Increase your water storage any way you possibly can. If you cannot increase your water storage anymore, you don't have room, whatever the situation may be, then work on identifying more sources of water. Identify 2 or 3 more sources of water near you. What about your town water tower? Where are the rivers? Where are the lakes? Where are the ponds? Where are the swimming pools? Who has swimming pools? Yeah. What about water heaters? The water left over in a water heater. If SHTF happens, really big event, and we got abandoned areas and stuff like that, you can go look at water heaters. Obviously, within a narrow window of time, because you don't want to go 3 years down the road and get a bunch of moldy, nasty, icky water out of them. But identifying sources of water, very important. So yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos, comment below, do all the things to help uplift this channel and all other preparedness channels. Please, let's raise the community. Let's, get involved. And if you're subscribed here and you want to stay subscribed, make sure you stay subscribed because you might get unsubscribed by the algorithm. Happens all the time. I love you guys. I am very, very proud and honored to be here and be able to teach you guys, talk to you guys, uplift you guys, empower you guys, and all the things. I love you. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you and yours.